Hey everyone, Brian here from Vintage Classic Specialist. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. These are our daily updates where we talk about what went on here in our little VW restoration shop. So, why don't we start with the blindingly bright 74 Love Bug in Ravana green here. So, Rafa worked on this one today and pretty much started getting everything together to assemble the doors. And so we had sent out the vent window frame, well, completely disassembled the vent window frames and then sent the frames out for powder coating in like semi-gloss black, which is correct for this car. And Rafa went ahead and put them together today. So new glass to frame seals, new felt channel, new upright seal here, etc., etc. Put them back together with a new rivet, of course. So those two pups are looking as good or maybe better than they did new, and pretty much ready to go on the car. So that's kind of a big job, pressing the glass to the frames there. We've got some special tooling that we had made at some point to do that, and it's kind of a big job. Anyway, so he got those done, and let's see here, what else? He took out the regulators, the window regulators, which are somewhere. I just saw them. Oh, they're there. Took those out, cleaned them all out, years worth of crud and grime and stuff, and then lubricated them, got them working all nice and smooth, and straightened them out. They were a little bit mutilated, so yeah, getting those to work good. And then he also went ahead and put new the lift channels, which are of course the metal channel that goes on the bottom of the door windows that roll up and down. So went ahead and popped those off and then reinstalled them with new seals there. So these are the ones, if anyone's had an old Volkswagen Bug before, where it's kind of funny actually, when you start rolling the window down, you keep turning the crank, and at some point the window just kind of stays put, even though you keep cranking it. That is the window separating from the lift channel. So the lift channel is what connects to the regulators and pulls the window down and pushes it up. So when these become separated from the glass, that's when you have the thing where you're cranking the window down and the window just like stays put, and then if you shove on it, it'll like go down, and if you're lucky, it'll kind of go down into that lift channel, which sits in the door there. But anyway, so yeah, pretty much getting all those ducks lined up, so to speak, to build the doors. What else? He went ahead and installed the door handle there. So these are new old stock door handles from VW of Mexico. So in Mexico, they had a lot of Beetles available that had the blacked out trim and stuff like that. So some of the stuff you can get from VW Mexico. And so those are some new old stock ones from down there that one of our contacts was able to get for us. And then again, I think I mentioned, we don't have them yet, but soon we'll have all the window seals, which again will not have trim, but rather they'll have kind of like a decorative groove that runs around them, so that they're not just flat. Basically, they have a little bit of detail to them. So those are coming in pretty soon. Those are also correct for this car, and those are coming from VW Mexico. And see what else. He put the antenna on, which has a black base. Again, just more little black details here. And I believe those are the main things that happened on this little puppy today. So for me, I worked on a couple different cars here. One is I took all of the tinware for this motor, which is of course the 36 horse for that guy. So took those engine tins and everything to powder coating, and then also took his heater boxes and muffler and intake manifold down to MB Performance, which is the company that we use that does ceramic coating. So hopefully by next week, all the engine tin and all the ceramic stuff will be back in. We can put this motor to get back together We do actually have stuff out at zinc plating too, like the hardware for the carburetors and stuff. So hopefully all that stuff is going to start trickling in later this week or early next week, and then we can put this motor back together. And if you saw the episode the other day, you saw that I got the engine compartment all ready to receive its soon-to-be beautiful engine. So the sound mat, etc., at the front and rear engine seals. And so today what I did on this car, other than run parts around, was put the deck lid seal on. You can see there. It was a pain in the butt because the channel that the seal goes in was crimped pretty tight, actually. So I had to go around and like very carefully. So the channel has kind of like a C shape like that, and had to pretty much go around carefully and open it up, because when it's too tight, you literally cannot get that seal into there. And so the trick is to go and open that C channel up without, scratching everything and having all the paint pop off the channel itself and stuff like that. So pretty time consuming, but once that's done, then the seal goes in without too much drama once the channel is open appropriately. So did that on the back here. And then let me make my way around here. Shop gets to be a bit of a maze when everything's in for the night. I'll squeeze through here. Let's see. I probably lashed this like a dummy. I did lash that like a dummy. So I'm not going to show you the hood seal, but you guys know what it looks like. And it is in as well. Same story. The channel itself was crimped a little bit too tight, pretty much all the way around. So again, had to go around and painstakingly open the channel all the way around. So on this, it goes down both sides and then across the cowl here by the windshield. So pretty much nowhere did the seal go in without massaging the C channel. So it's one of those things that you think would be a very quick job, but ends up taking a long time because you got to take your time. Again, you don't want to scratch the paint, and you don't want to totally mutilate that channel. So fairly time consuming, but it's the only way to do it. Anyway, so that was pretty much what I did on this Black Beauty here today. Santiago he was out yesterday. Today he's continuing to work on the seats. I think he said he's going to have the seats done tomorrow, so that would be awesome. I cannot wait to see this car with its full upholstery in it. So fingers crossed that on tomorrow's episode, I'm showing you guys that. So please tune in, and hopefully I will not disappoint you. You will see the complete interior on the Black Beauty 56 oval here. So this guy, I was hoping to get a replacement pair of ICT or whatever MP calls their version of them carburetors today. Ordered those through my buddy AJ over at Low Bucket. But MP had them in stock, but they literally had just come in and they hadn't uncrated them yet from a shipment. So hopefully tomorrow I will get the carbs for this car. So in the meantime, though, what I did was went ahead and popped off the valve covers and adjusted all the valves. They were actually all really good. I think I adjusted one exhaust valve on number 4, and it was like barely off. I mean, maybe it was like a thousandths or so too tight, so not a big deal. But again, with valves, particularly exhaust valves, you want to err on the side of a little loose versus a little tight to make sure you don't burn a valve. So yeah, other than that one valve, pretty much the rest of them just going around checking, and they were all felt really good. The other thing I did was, because I want to make sure with this motor that I'm not sort of chasing my tail as far as getting it to run well. So the carburetors is one thing, and I know that they were misbehaving, but I wanted to make sure that the motor didn't have like a dead cylinder or anything, because no matter how awesomely you have the carburetors dialed in, if you've got a dead slug, it ain't gonna run worth a damn. So pretty much pulled out all the spark plugs today and did a compression check on all 4 cylinders. They were all really good, actually. I think the lowest one was 145 or 50. The highest one might have been like 160 or so, 165 maybe, something like that. But they were all pretty high. I was pretty happy to see those numbers. So no concern there as far as the compression that this motor is making. Again, the valves all checked out great as far as the adjustment. And so yeah, I'll probably, since I have the plugs out, they don't really look too bad. So I don't know. I'm still debating whether I want to just go ahead and throw in a new set or not. These actually look fine, and it looks like the car has been running okay. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll decide tomorrow. But I think probably I will be replacing the plug wires because they're looking pretty old, and I don't know. I feel like when they're all oily like that, and maybe this is just my imagination, I feel like they probably kind of break down when they're all gross like that and start leaking. I haven't really, while the motor's been running, been grabbing these to see if they shock me, because that's a good way to test and see if they're leaking. Don't do that though. But yeah, sometimes it happens inadvertently. So I'll probably go ahead and replace those. Cap and rotor look fine. Points look fine, and we're dead on, stuff like that. So I'm hoping that when I get the new carburetors, of course, I'll pop them open because they are empty, and pop them open, make sure they're clean on the inside, and I'll double check the float heights. And yeah, I'm hoping then when I go ahead and put those on, and that it's gonna purr like a kitten, because I don't see any other reason it wouldn't, other than that the carburetors that came with the car seem to be trashed in some way. So that was kind of the other thing I did today. If I didn't mention it already, I also went ahead and drained the oil on it, and kind of in the middle of an oil change. Sump plate is all back on. I just need to literally add the oil back in. And yeah, valve covers are back on with new gaskets, etc. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow, guys, I really want to get this thing running and take it for a little spin. The brakes, actually, the pedal feels really good. I'll probably pop all the drums and see how they look and check the master cylinder, but it feels like it's got a really good brake pedal. So we'll see. Because yeah, I want to take this little thing for a spin. Believe it or not, I don't remember ever having driven. No, that's not true. I've driven a Notchback before. A buddy of mine in Texas had one. Anyway, so I think, guys, that is about it for today. Rene and Raul continue to work on the orange 70 Beetle, again, making lots of progress. So Rene is pretty much doing another round now of blocking and applying some glaze to take care of some little pinholes in some of the skim coat of filler that's on there, stuff like that. So yeah, really dialing in that body work on that car. So I'll give you guys an update on that one here in the next day or so. Pretty much the whole car now is in primer, except for the inside of the car and the trunk and the trunk and the deck lid. The whole outside of the car now is in primer. But yeah, I'll give you guys an update on that one sometime soon. So everyone, I think that is it for real for today. So thank you all very much for watching. Always appreciate your views, your likes, your comments, etc. And tune in again tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Bye.